Welcome to Oracle of Confidence. You wake up exhausted. You go to bed exhausted. Your day is filled with busyness that feels important, but somehow leaves nothing actually accomplished. You check your phone 152 times per day on average. You attend meetings that could have been emails. You work on tasks that someone else asked you to do instead of work that moves your actual goals forward. You're busy. You're incredibly, maximally, burnout level busy. And here's the devastating part. Everyone around you is also busy. They're all exhausted. They're all overwhelmed. They're all stuck in the same productivity trap. So, you think the problem is time. You think if you could just find a few more hours per day, everything would change. You're wrong. Time isn't your real problem. Your real problem is something far more fundamental that nobody talks about because it requires changing how you think, not just how you work. Meet Ava, 36 years old, marketing manager, working approximately 55 hours per week, mornings spent in status meetings, afternoons spent responding to emails and Slack, evenings spent working on actual projects that require deep focus, weekends spent thinking about work. Ava is productive by all external measures. Projects deliver. People respect Ava's work ethic. The problem? Ava has no energy left for anything else. No time for family. No time for hobbies. No time for the actually important things. Ava has 3 young kids, married, should be enjoying life. Instead, Ava is trapped in a productivity prison that looks like success from the outside, but feels like drowning from the inside. You know this experience. The exhaustion of being good at your job while being terrible at your life. Ava tried the classic productivity approach, downloaded productivity apps, used calendar blocking, time blocked every hour, planned every minute. For 3 weeks it worked. Ava felt organized, felt in control. Then life happened. A meeting ran long. An emergency project emerged. A crisis required attention. Ava's perfectly planned day collapsed. The response? Try harder. Plan more aggressively. Block even more tightly. The result? Complete breakdown. Ava spent so much energy managing the schedule that all energy for actual work evaporated. Ava burned out, not from work, from managing the work. Ava learned extreme time blocking is a system that works until it doesn't, and when it breaks, the exhaustion is multiplied. Ava tried the opposite approach, abandoned all planning, went with the flow, responded to whatever was urgent, let priorities emerge naturally. For a week, Ava felt free. No schedule stress, no planning pressure. Then the chaos arrived. Important projects didn't advance. Deadlines got missed. Ava's boss had to step in and reprioritize. Ava had created the illusion of freedom while actually creating complete disorder. Ava learned, without any structure, you become reactive. You're at the mercy of whatever is loudest, not what's most important. Complete freedom, maybe, is actually complete chaos. The breaking point. Ava had a conversation with the kids about mom's never available and broke down. I thought if I just worked hard enough, managed my time perfectly, I could do everything. But the reality became clear. Ava was choosing to be busy. Ava was choosing work over family. Ava was choosing responsiveness over presence. And Ava's kids were paying the price. This wasn't about time management anymore. This was about values. About what Ava actually wanted. About realizing that being excellent at work while being absent from life isn't success. It's tragedy. Everything changed when Ava stopped thinking about time and started thinking about energy and priorities. The breakthrough wasn't a new app or a new system. The breakthrough was completely reframing the problem. Time isn't the constraint. Attention is. Energy is. Clarity about what actually matters is. Ava implemented a completely different approach. Phase 1, Energy Audit, Week 1. Eva spent 1 week tracking not just what she did, but how each activity affected her energy. Meetings with her boss, drained energy. Responding to emails, drained energy. Deep work on strategic projects, recharged energy. Time with family, recharged energy. Creative problem solving, recharged energy. Data entry, drained energy. Within 1 week, Eva had a clear picture. 60% of Eva's time was spent on energy-draining activities. Only 40% was spent on energy-creating activities. The insight: the problem wasn't time management. The problem was that Eva was spending her prime energy on low-value work. Phase 2, Ruthless Elimination, Week 2 to 3. Eva took the energy audit and started eliminating. Stopped attending meetings unless Eva was actually required to make a decision. Blocked email to 2 specific times per day, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Delegated data entry work to someone who found it energizing. Eliminated status update meetings entirely, replaced with an async email recap. Got off Slack entirely and checked messages once per day. The original prediction: chaos, missed deadlines, people upset. The actual result: nobody noticed. Projects continued. Work still delivered. The only difference: Eva suddenly had 10 hours per week of reclaimed time that had been consumed by busy work. Phase 3, Energy Prioritization, Week 4+. Eva decided that her prime energy, first 3 hours of the day, would be protected for high-value work only. No emails, no meetings, no interruptions. Just deep work on strategic projects that actually moved the needle. The secondary energy, midday, would be for meetings and collaborative work. The depleted energy, late afternoon, would be for administrative tasks and routine work. This scheduling around energy instead of around meetings completely changed productivity. Eva started accomplishing more in 20 hours of work per week than she had before in 55 hours, because those 20 hours were aligned with peak energy instead of scattered across the day. Phase 4, Boundary Protection, Month 2+, the most important phase. Eva established a hard boundary: no work on weekends, no work after 5 p.m. on weekdays, no emails on vacation. These boundaries didn't reduce productivity, they increased it. Why? Because knowing you have a firm stopping time makes you use the time more efficiently, creates urgency around what matters, eliminates the endless "maybe I should work on this" mindset that leads to empty work. Also, more importantly, created the capacity to actually be present with family. The kids had their mom back. The marriage started healing. Life started existing again alongside work. Within 2 months, Eva's life completely transformed. Still doing the same job, same title, same company, but working 30 hours instead of 55, producing better output because those 30 hours were focused on high-value work instead of busy work. But most importantly, had life back, had energy back, had the capacity to be present with family. The kids saw their mom. The marriage improved. Eva actually felt alive instead of constantly exhausted. Productivity isn't about managing time. It's about managing energy. Everyone has the same 24 hours, but energy fluctuates. It's highest in the morning and declines as the day goes on. Productivity masters don't work longer. They work when their energy is highest. They protect prime hours for high-impact work, batch routine tasks into low-energy periods, and cut activities that drain energy without real value. The protocol is simple. Run an energy audit. Track what drains energy and what restores it. Eliminate the drainers. Guard peak energy for your most valuable work. This shift boosts productivity more than any time management system ever could. Most productivity systems add more: apps, frameworks, processes. Eva's change came from cutting. Fewer meetings, less email, no low-value work, no filling every minute. The most productive people aren't the busiest. They're the most selective. They say no and eliminate relentlessly. They focus only on work that pays, creates impact, or builds energy. Everything else goes. This feels scary because it seems like abandoning responsibility, but the truth is simple. If it's not important enough for you, it's likely not important at all. Eliminate one thing for a week. If no one notices, cut it for good. Eva's life improved when she set a firm limit on work hours. This feels counterintuitive, but more time doesn't mean more productivity. Unlimited time breeds procrastination. Clear deadlines create focus. A strict no work after 5 p.m. rule forced Eva to be selective during the day. The result was more strategic work, less busy work, and greater impact. A secondary benefit was being fully present outside work, which restored energy. The boundary became the real game changer. You're stuck in the busyness trap because you believe productivity means doing more. It doesn't. It means doing less with greater focus. Protect peak energy for high-value work and cut activities that drain without real return. You're not busy because you're important. You're busy because you haven't been ruthless about what deserves your time and energy. No one will give you permission to be less busy. You have to give it to yourself. As Stephen Covey says, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Subscribe to Oracle of Confidence for productivity systems and energy management. Comment below. I'm reclaiming my energy, and identify one activity you're doing that drains energy without creating proportional value. Eliminate it this week. This is how life changes.